When we speak of schools in Bihar, the conversation often drifts not to excellence or inspiration, but to the growing shadow of commercialization. I have had the privilege of walking through the corridors of some of the finest schools across the country. But in my own hometown, there was always a quiet longing, a dream of something more. And then one day, fortunately, I stepped into Trinity Global School, TGS. What I found was unexpected and deeply moving, a place where academics meet ethics, where discipline walks hand in hand with creativity, where sports and activities are not afterthoughts but essentials. Above all, a place grounded in honesty and purpose. That day, I knew this story had to be told. In 2012, on a quiet patch of land just beyond the city bustle, work began. Not for a school, but for an engineering college. The dream was bold, a center for technical education that Bihar's youth could access right here without having to leave their roots. The layout was ambitious: science labs, lecture halls, student accommodations, everything was designed for the future.
We were clear, quite clear. We didn't want just another college. We wanted to build something that lasted, something that meant something. But within 2 years, the ground shifted under our feet.
In 2013, a sudden change in policy halted approvals for new engineering colleges in Bihar. The policy was relaxed later on, but what was almost ready now had no future. It would have been easy to stop there, or write it off as a failed project. But something unexpected was already taking root in the middle of the silence. During a drive one evening, a simple conversation between the director and his wife became the turning point.
I told her that in Patna, there is a need for a school and a place for after school engagement for the children. As you see, you do not have a secured park when it comes to a decent family, and especially a girl. And since my elder child is a girl, I do not find any conducive environment or a park where I can safely take my daughter with no onlookers. We said to each other, if this can't be a college, why not a school? A place that starts even earlier, that gives children a space to be curious, expressive, and with a balanced blend of quality academics along with physical activities.
But it meant starting over. New staff, new systems, a different kind of preparation altogether. But something felt right. And so, Trinity Global School was born. Not out of certainty, but out of courage. Not out of perfect planning, but a deep belief that education should begin with the heart.
Honestly speaking, entering the campus, entering Trinity Global School makes me happy. And I become happier when I see the children, the true souls, the honest soul. So that makes me happy.
The first batch had just a few students, but even in those early days, there was something special. A culture of care, a voice that said, "You matter here." TGS was not just teaching, they were building. Every day was new. A new child, a new problem, a new joy. A culture began to grow. One that valued not just knowledge, but warmth, trust, and the confidence to dream. Over the next decade, Trinity would become more than a school. It became a second home for children, for families, and for teachers. A space where values were not preached, but lived. It all began with a change in plan. But looking back now, it was never a detour. It was a destiny. The beginning was not easy, but it was real, and it was ours.
In the last 10 years, it's been 10 years, but it feels just like yesterday when I walked in over here. A lot has changed. We've made a lot of mistakes, learned from our mistakes, grown, evolved, and I would say we're still growing. But one thing that has stayed the same, I believe, is the values that TGS upholds, which is discipline, the honesty with which we work, and each day we try and strive to bring out the best in each child.
Trinity actually gave me a lot of things. Like when I joined Trinity, I was very young, so they taught me how to work, how to be disciplined. Actually, each and everything, whatever I have learned at this place only. Trinity has taught me everything. So yeah, I'm very thankful to Trinity that giving a chance to such a youngster 10 years back, and now it has been a really long journey.
I think the most appreciable change has been our approach towards teaching and learning. Right. Before it was more teacher-centric and traditional, but now our school has beautifully embraced modern student-centric teaching approach. Okay, activity-based learning is there, project-based learning, real-life skill development is there. Okay, we always encourage our students to think critically, right? So today's classroom, you will observe that today's classroom is more interactive, right? Students are very confident and they express themselves freely and confidently. In terms of infrastructure, it has also increased. Okay, we have every sorts of sports facilities, and these are designed in such a way that help to support holistic development of the student, right? And what has remained beautifully the same, the culture of our school, the culture of care, the culture of respect, the culture of helpfulness, right? All these things remains the same, and it will remain the same, I hope so. The bond between the teacher and the student also remains the same. The supportive environment of the schools remains the same. And the most important, the importance given to character building here. Okay, all these remains the same, and I think it will always remain the same as long as the values of our school is concerned.
In these 10 years, I believe There are many things that have changed and many things that will be same. So I would like to talk about two basically. Number one, our building has changed, our infrastructure has changed. We have come up with the hostel building and the administrative block and the music block separately. So, to provide the better services to students. What has remained same is the commitment towards the excellence, the academic, sports, and obviously the discipline. Also, our team has changed. When we started in 2015, the team was, very small, committed people. But then, over the period of time, we have changed, we have become bigger, we have become more stronger. And what has remained same again with this larger theme now, the work ethics, the way we work, and the way we care for the students.
Those who have stayed through the journey don't just recall the changes, they embody them. And the greatest milestone? Almost every child who walks in walks out shining.
Get up!
At Trinity Global School, children aren't filled, they are fueled with ideas, with empathy, and with voice. Ten years from inception, TGS now breathes in the campus of IIT Kharagpur, Mumbai, and Dhanbad, along with government medical colleges, Delhi campuses, and many more. The story has just begun. Every child is not the same, and that is the beauty TGS celebrates. Some lead, some dance, some solve equations, but all grow. It is not just a place where futures are made, it is where happiness is found. True character is revealed not when the skies are clear, but when storms strike without mercy. In March 2020, when the world came to a standstill. Trinity Global School was just 5 years young, still finding its wings, still dreaming bigger dreams. For a school built on vision, faith, and sheer human effort, the pandemic wasn't just a health crisis, it was an existential threat.
My first worry was simple: my people. How do I pay their salaries? I had only 2 months buffer, and suddenly, fees stopped. The lifeline was cut.
Trinity chose a harder road because Trinity was never just an organization, it was and still is a family.
For those earning less, no deductions. For others, just a small cut, and that also with mutual agreement. And to top it, to be very sincere, with a promise to pay it back with full interest.
In 2020 was the epidemic spread all over the world. That was the time of the lockdown. I belong to Varanasi. My native place is in Varanasi. At that particular time, I had seen and I heard from many of the sources, from many of my relatives. Many of my relatives, my cousin brothers also, thrown out from their institutions, thrown out from their company because of the lockdown, as they were facing the financial crisis. So lockdown led financial crisis at that particular time. Many of the people not only thrown out, because of the financial reasons, many of these institutions removed them from the job. The Trinity was one of the only institution which I have seen and heard where each and every family member was saved by this family. Each and every member's job, every member's need was protected by this particular institution. Not only the teachers, even those who are not the part of the online education system, like the Didis and Bhaiyas who help us on the floors, the kitchen staff, the transport staff, everyone's salary was fully paid by the school during the first lockdown. And it was not heard by me from any of the part of the India कि कहीं पे salary except government कहीं कोई किसी को full salary नहीं. During the second lockdown, was the school started facing the financial trouble. At that time, was the school decided to deduct a minor, do a minor deduction. At that time, the school one-to-one talk to each and every family member. We are planning to deduct the salary. Are you agree or not? At that time, some of the teachers, employees said, "Sir, we are in this particular situation. We cannot afford the deduction." No, उनका deduction नहीं हुआ. Those agreed, उनका deduction हुआ. In those days, I had seen my own known school of Varanasi. During the lockdown, I departed from here to my native place, and sir had instructed everyone to take online classes from home. At that time, I had seen the school was not only thinking about its family member, the teachers, staff, everyone. At that time, my school paid more attention over the students, because we had planned a kind of online system where students सिर्फ tick mark नहीं कर रहे थे. The teachers were taking classes with the full potential, full enthusiasm, and student also involved in the process. And this process of education was monitored by mentors. Those were deployed between these two as a bridge between the teachers and the student. होमवर्क टाइम पे हुआ या नहीं, हमने क्या पढ़ाया, बच्चे तक वो गया, असाइनमेंट बना, असाइनमेंट वापस आया, सबमिट हुआ, टीचर्स ने करेक्शन किया, एवरीथिंग was properly monitored. It has not seen by me in any of this.
In the field of education, जब कोविड-19 आया तो ऑलमोस्ट सब चीज़ शट डाउन हो गया, ऑल चीज़ लॉकडाउन हो गया। तो जो चीज़ सबसे ज़्यादा इफेक्ट हो रहा था वो रहा था एजुकेशन। सारे इंस्टीट्यूशंस बंद हो गए। इनिशियली किसी को कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा था कैसे मतलब सर्व करे भी सोसाइटी को, बच्चे का एंगेजमेंट। फिर धीरे धीरे लोगों ने टेक्नोलॉजी को अडॉप्ट किया। तो जो चेंज ओवर टेक्नोलॉजी और एजुकेशन फील्ड में जो टेक्नोलॉजी का इंट्रोडक्शन एक तरह से हुआ, जो बहुत अच्छे तरीके से हुआ, वो एक पॉजिटिव चेंज है कोविड-19 की। इसमें जैसे जैसे लोग बढ़ते गए, अगर हम अपने स्कूल की बात करें तो यहाँ पे भी सब लोग अपने घर में थे, बच्चे अपने घर पे थे। स्कूल बस यही सोच रहा था कि कैसे स्कूल को देखना था कि बच्चों का एजुकेशन कैसे हो जाए। ट्रिनिटी एक जब फैमिली थे, एम्प्लॉय थे, उनको कैसे सर्व किया जाए, उनका क्या होगा। तो फिर एज ए स्कूल हम लोगों ने फिर टेक्नोलॉजी को अडॉप्ट किया। ऑनलाइन क्लासेज स्टार्ट हुई। थैंक्स टू माय टीचर्स, जिन्होंने बहुत जल्दी इस टेक्नोलॉजी को अडॉप्ट किया। नई नई चीज़ें उन लोगों को सीखनी पड़ी, बहुत जल्दी उन लोगों ने इस चीज़ों को सीख लिया। वो ऑनलाइन क्लासेज हो, कंटेंट देना हो, बच्चों तक पहुंचाना हो, बच्चों से उनका होमवर्क लेके करेक्शन करना हो। तो बहुत ज़्यादा चेंजेस समय हुए कोविड के समय, जहाँ पे लोग बहुत मतलब हर तरफ अफरा तफरी का माहौल था। वैसे समय में ये चेंज लाना, बच्चों तक एजुकेशन पहुंचा देना, ठीक है, और सारे टीचर्स, एम्प्लॉय, उन लोग की फैमिली को भी देखना, उनको भी सर्व करना, उनके बारे में भी सोचना। अपार्ट फ्रॉम द एजुकेशन और एक अच्छी चीज़ हुई, मतलब हर लोग यूनाइट हो गए उस समय। मतलब जिसको भी बन पड़ा, जिसका भी हेल्प करना चाहा, उसका हेल्प किया है उस समय। तो एक ये चेंज है, बहुत अच्छा सोसाइटी में हुआ। वहाँ पे कोई ये नहीं देख रहा था कि हमें भी हो जाएगा। फिर भी लोग सर्व कर रहे थे जैसे भी हो सके, पैसे से, अनाज से, ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर से। इवन स्कूल ने भी इस फील्ड में बहुत हेल्प किया। स्कूल के पास अपना सिलेंडर्स होते थे, किसी को भी अगर उस चीज़ की ज़रूरत होती थी तो वो पहुंचा दिया जाता था। लोगों के खाने पीने का ध्यान रखा गया। हमारे हॉस्टल में जो स्टूडेंट्स रहते थे, जो इन हाउस यहाँ पे हमारे हाउस कीपिंग भैया जो लोग रहते थे, उन लोग का ध्यान रखा गया। तो अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट पेंडेमिक, एक बहुत बड़ा पॉजिटिव चेंज रहा कि लोग यूनाइट हुए, नई टेक्नोलॉजी को सीखा, ठीक है, और उसको हम लोग अपने डे टू डे लाइफ में इनकॉर्पोरेट करें।
So it was during the COVID, and the entire fraternity, entire mass were thinking of their survival. The teachers over here, in that situation also, came together and helped us out, making the students engaged, keeping them out of that trauma. So they were like normal, except coming to school, they were having their entire classes, the homework, the corrections, and everything. So I think that was a challenge which we overcame.
Giving up, no. Actually, I always enjoyed working here, being around the students, letting them know what I have learned from my experience. Initially, I started as a table tennis coach. So at that time, I was I was sharing my knowledge with the students here. So I really enjoyed being here, and this place has always given a very comfortable environment to all the we can say employees or our teachers, family members. That personally, me, I never thought giving up, and that never came into my mind, because the Trinity has always given me that space, that room to explore myself, to have my time as well.
When survival meant sacrifice, TGS chose fairness. When despair was easy, TGS chose dignity. But standing through the storm needed more than resilience. It needed the right people. From day one, building a team at TGS wasn't about hiring titles. It was about finding souls who would believe.
I don't hire. I bring people along on the journey. Only two things matter to me: honesty and integrity. See, skills can be built, but if you're not honest, you just cannot be a TGS family.
From data operators to department heads, from freshers to veterans, the common thread wasn't just competence, it was a character. And in times of crisis, character was the only currency that mattered. Through online classes, the guardians saw the passion and commitment of each and every member of TGS. Trinity Global School weathered the crisis and came back strongly. Not because it was lucky, because it was loved.
Today we are financially stable again, but those days taught us. It's not building or banners that define a school. It is the spirit of your people. My teachers, my support staff, and they all went beyond for this.
Every child deserves a chance, and some just need a hand to reach the door. TGS has opened that door.
शुभ नाम जगदीश वर्मा। हम रूट नंबर 18 बस चलाते हैं, बोरिंग रोड टू अटल पथ। हमारे ही जरिए हमारे बच्चे को एजुकेशन मिल रहा है। बहुत हमको इस गरीब आदमी को इतना हाई फाई स्कूल में, हमको इस स्कूल के वजह से ही हमारा बच्चा यहाँ पढ़ रहा है। बहुत खुशी की बात है कि हम मेहनत कर रहे हैं तो हमारे बच्चे भी कुछ बन जाएं।
The impact of TGS goes far beyond classrooms and corridors. It echoes in culture, in celebration, in confidence. It's where students become storytellers of their roots and of the world they wish to shape. When a school becomes a movement, its boundaries fade. What remains is impact, and Trinity Global, in its first decade, has only just begun.
Here, you're not just a teacher or a student. You are a part of a family who believes in your dream, celebrate your every step, small and big, and nurtures your heart.
At Trinity Global School, learning is not a race, it is a rhythm, where curiosity is sacred and kindness is curriculum. It prepares you for life.
The one sound in school that always brings me joy is the laughter of our students during playtime and during other activities. It is a beautiful reminder that here learning is filled with happiness, love, and life.
Here, culture isn't written on walls, it is lived in the moments. And the last, the most important one, what is the future vision? Like for the next 10 years?
We just need to build a culture. We need good people at the right time. If that happens, we don't need to worry about the future.
Out of so many good things that I like most about this institution is that here we have flexibility in teaching, and this flexibility really helps me in my ways, especially incorporating my own methodologies and traits, and which I believe is having a huge impact on my students. Here, we not only focus on completing the curriculum, rather we internalize the concepts, principles and values that we teach. So we can say that here this all is making a major difference and gives altogether a different learning experience to all my students.
In a world that glorifies planning and projections, Trinity plans differently, through presence, through people.
My planning of future is actually what I am doing today. Getting good teachers, honest people, making sure they feel secure. And that's my plan.
But planning for people also means protecting them for a future that feels uncertain, from a world where even air and water are no longer safe.
With deteriorating environmental conditions, health issues are going to rise, and health is expensive. At TGS, every staff member, teacher, or the support staff is covered by an adequate insurance policy. We also have a floater fund. If someone uses up their insurance, we add from the fund, and this year we are starting something new, a staff welfare fund.
One, when they grow older, long after they have served, they'll still receive support, even if they have stopped earning. Two, if a child of a staff member wants to pursue higher studies, the fund will back them. No interest, just trust.
Once they get a job, they return the money, interest free, back to the fund, so others can dream too. We are building homes for our teachers. Till the time they are alive, they'll live in those homes. No rent, no fear, just peace.
It's almost been like a journey. I'll tell you, when I came here for the first time 10 years back, I was given grade 2 to teach and I was told to teach English. I was just not happy because I thought my role would be very challenging. Being around with such small children, tender children. And sir said that I promise you, once the school grows, you'll get the subject of your choice. And with the passage of time, because it was a new school, there was so much to do, so much to learn, things we were doing for the first time. And with that experience, I think I gained a lot. And for a very brief period, I was made the principal of the school. But even in that brief period, I feel that I had years of experience. There was so much to learn. I must have made mistakes, definitely. But sir and my colleagues always stood behind me. And now, after 10 years, I am teaching the subject of my choice, my favorite subject, economics. And the journey has been wonderful till now.
Today is 2nd of July 2023, right? So you are sitting in front of me, and fortunately, today was the day when I joined Trinity Global School, 2nd of July. So the journey has been tremendously good with lots of learnings. So overall, it has helped me becoming a leader, understanding the things, giving the opportunity to understand small children, okay, and nourishing them to keep them going and building a strong foundation for the people and the family.
One sentence will be a very big term for me. I have only one word for it: home. This is my home.
When I ponder about students who will walk out of this gate of Trinity Global School 10 years from now, I sanguine they are those individuals who are merely not the inhabitants or citizens of this world and country. Rather, I want them to be the enlightened citizens and inhabitants. I too sanguine they are young men and women who have not only acquired knowledge but also have learned how to use it to make a positive difference in this world. I anticipate they are confident, but not just with their abilities but also with their values and principles. And the most importantly, I foresee them to be happy, fulfilled, and at peace with themselves and the world around them. And yes, I hope when they will look back at the time here at Trinity Global School with fond memories, I want them to be assured that we, their teachers and faculties, are still extremely proud, irrespective of what they achieve in their life. And at last, to be a bit assertive, being a humanities faculty, I have deep urge that at least one of my students should soar to the zenith of the services in any of the Indian institutions whether it be in the prominent position in judiciary or at least as an influential policymaker of our nation. I hope we'll achieve that, hope for one day, and hope for the best.
Trinity, yes, it is different. I will tell you why. Because you work, I don't want to do that comparison thing, but working here at Trinity is just working. It's nothing else. You have only one job to do. You look after the children, your plans, your intentions, your ideas, your work should be towards the children, and you're done. You're not being dictated, you're not being controlled, you're not being told, you're not being instructed, There is no control, there's no stress of working. Keep the children into the focal area of yours, and your job is done. That is the best part. So you're free from any kind of work, that politics kind of things. So that is the best one.
A teacher without fear is a teacher who inspires freely. At Trinity, education is not just about the next generation. It is about the ones raising them too.